So if you're listening right now, you have to wait at least 20 more seconds before you can click off, or else YouTube will actually put us lower in the rankings. So just, even if you're going to click off, just don't click off for another 15 seconds. That would be really helpful.
That'd be so nice.
Yeah. All you have to do is not press that X button, and you'll be saving this podcast, and we'll be able to afford housing next month.
Wow, you guys really wanted a Valkyrae video. I've gotten more requests for Valkyrae than every other celebrity combined. I didn't have the closest eye on Valkyrae before researching this video, but I had seen her collaborate with a lot of my favorite streamers. So I started watching some of her streams and interviews, and sure enough, she displays a number of charismatic habits, which may seem simple, but are extremely powerful. So in this video, we're gonna break down 3 of Valkyrae's habits that make her so charming. Many of these may sound like basic advice at first glance, but there are nuances that take them from ordinary to extremely charismatic if you hit the nuance. The first one of these is a more subtle point, but it starts with something that you can't help but notice when watching Valkyrae. Her beaming and frequent smile, it lights up her whole face. Smiling is one of the fastest ways to communicate friendly intentions and put other people at ease. But since it's so easy to do, people have learned to fake it to their advantage, and we in turn have learned unconscious ways of detecting when a smile is genuine versus when it's meant to manipulate us. Subconsciously, we don't look at the mouth, but the eyes. If a person's eyes don't have any flexion in the muscles below and around their eyes, we judge that smile to be fake and sometimes distrust the person for the perceived attempt at manipulating us. Ray doesn't even come close to triggering this though. Look at her eyes in these next clips.
Your next guest.
Leslie's the next guest, and I would never say that to her.
I agree with that.
Moving, visual, graphic.
Of course, Valkyrae isn't focused on squeezing her eye muscles precisely to appear genuine, and neither should you be. Instead, her genuine smile comes from her allowing herself to find the humor in everything. This is the nuance, and while it might seem like an obvious point, more often than we realize, we restrain ourselves from these genuine smiles or genuine laughter. Sometimes, it's because we're uncomfortable laughing at ourselves. We think it would hurt our social standing to do that. But in these next clips, Valkyrae proves that a willingness to laugh at yourself is actually extremely charismatic.
That would be a fun challenge to
challenge.
issue to everyone in the friend group. Be like,
what if we we had a challenge, a secret challenge in our friend group? I guess it's not a secret anymore.
Last player standing. Spike down mid.
I'm so stupid.
He does it.
What is wrong with me, bro?
I'm scared.
What's wrong with
30 seconds
me?
left.
Other times, we hold our smiling and laughter back because we think of charisma as something that requires us to be the leader, to be in the spotlight. When we are in this competitive mindset and someone else tells a joke, rather than laugh, we might hold back and look for a way to make people laugh at our next joke. But Valkyrae doesn't fall into this ego trap. In this next clip, for instance, Ray is talking about how she doesn't know if she could become famous again if she started streaming anonymously. And Toast piles on, turning it into a challenge. Ray has no problem shifting the spotlight over to him, making him feel smart and funny, making him the center of attention.
Anonymously would be so hard to grow, especially if you don't tell your previous audience. Like, how are you gonna get that exposure? Or like, how are people
But
gonna
that's the
find
real
you?
challenge, right? If you were that good of a content creator, can you restart your whole life as an anonymous VTuber?
We should try it out.
It's counterintuitive, but highlighting the people around you, making them feel funny, well-liked, like they have the spotlight on them, leads to your own charisma rising. Now, Valkyrae's willingness to smile and laugh freely actually leads to our second major point, and it's when our sarcastic, comedic instincts might tell us to cut someone down, Valkyrae often takes those opportunities to build people up. Now, the reverse is especially common in young men who have learned to say things like, "That was painful," when someone makes a bad joke. But Valkyrae avoids these low blows. In this next clip, Peter Park starts calling himself old, and rather than tease him for it, she supports it and frames it in a positive way.
Yeah.
Are we old? Is it?
No, okay.
You guys are
I
cultured.
genuinely think that 30s are the new 20s.
I
this
actually
generation.
agree with that though. And you know what? It's true.
You generate massive goodwill when you laugh with someone rather than at them. And yes, even though the whole room might laugh when you pick on one individual, it's usually better to take the supportive role, and you can still be funny while doing it. Now, to be clear, I don't mean to say that you can never lovingly tease people. Ray does this on occasion, but interestingly enough, she often finds a way to sneak a subtle compliment into those teases. Watch as she teases Peter for being old, but immediately follows it up with a compliment.
What qualifies you as the Zoomer, would you say?
I'm younger than you by like basically 10 years.
Basically a decade.
Yeah. I think that qualifies.
I don't like that you're explaining when we are almost the same age.
But we're not the same age.
But we're almost the same age. Okay, well, never tell a lady's age, but like, we're close in age.
If you don't mind me asking.
A
1
year
year.
off. I'm a year younger.
Which is crazy to me because you definitely look like you could pass as someone who just like finished grad school at most.
Yeah,
to me.
she looks so young.
No.
The Filipino genes.
Yeah,
I swear.
no, it's the Asian genes for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean.
But he's Asian too.
I always say it.
All right, that's a little fucked up. Anyway, so by the way,
Peter, you look young.
You do.
Peter looks young.
It's fine to still be cracking jokes, but make the punchline that your friends and loved ones are attractive, well-liked, and cool. Now the last, very simple habit that makes Ray so effortlessly charming is that she's an active listener. She makes the people communicating with her feel validated and heard. Now you've already seen examples of this in her validating jokes from other people, but active listening can be even more subtle than that. For instance, she often listens while repeating phrases that the other person just said.
Like, you can kind of, like, when I lie to you, you always know.
Yeah.
That's
You
what I-
always know when I'm lying.
Yeah. and
Other times, she simply says words that are encouraging and affirmative.
some of these people are like kids with the way they see the world.
Yeah.
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 Oh man. I love that though.
The cool thing about this habit is that it's very under the radar. People begin to feel good and to associate that feeling with you without really knowing why. And it contributes to them feeling the sense of, I don't really know how to explain it, but I just like them. There are a lot of ways to be charming, but I think Ray highlights one of the most elegant. You make other people feel good by modeling how to feel good yourself. When you are happy and comfortable expressing that happiness in a generous way with your smiles, your laughter, your affirmations of other people, it has a way of rubbing off and making them perceive you as more charismatic. Just remember these 3 things. Smile genuinely, make jokes that build the people around you up, and actively listen. If you like this video, you should check out the video I made on Ludwig and how he was able to make such a large and diverse friend group.
I'm gonna say you were here, like a U-Haul truck, taking up a lot of room. So much room on the bed though, for like 2. What's up? What's up? Dude.
hey, you have your own room.
And don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment down below of who I should make my next video on. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.